Chin-up day is back and I wanted to hit 32 kilos again for a triple. So I did not change anything in the preparation for this. I did a few sets with body weights only, then I did a few with 10 kilos, 20 kilos, and then the ramp up was 24, 28, and 32. The only thing that I did differently from the previous time was that I was not going to fail the first attempt at 32 kilos, and then I had an idea to do a back off set with that. And the way that I thought about going about this in the next week or so would be to maybe keep the progression in the ramp up the same and just change the weight in the back off set. So this time I did 20 kilos, maybe next time I'm going to do 22 and then 24, because I don't think that I'm going to be moving up to 34 next week yet. The 32 kilo set is going to come up soon, and in the meantime I put up some footage for the overhead presses that I did after all the ramp up. This is the 32 kilo set, and I got it up. It was a bit of a grande on the third rep, but it showed that 3 reps on 32 kilos are still quite challenging for me, and I don't think that I will be trying 34 next week. What I will be doing is stay with 32 and then get some extra volume in the form of lower intensity repetitions and maybe just higher volume. This time I did 20 kilos for 5 reps as a back off set on top of the triple ramp up that I did. 5 reps on 20 kilos after the higher intensity sets were pretty challenging, especially the 3rd to 5th reps. They were tough, I must say. Even though the weight was basically a fraction of what the max effort was, I still feel like this is quality volume that I can accrue and is going to compound over time. So there is really no rush to push the top set in terms of intensity. I will be progressing this slowly, and hopefully this is a smart choice. So after the chin-up ramp up, I went on to seated dumbbell overhead presses, and I did a couple of warm-up sets and then 2 sets with 12 kilos going for higher repetitions. The first set, I was feeling a bit fatigued already, and the last rep that I did, I felt a bit of an annoyance inside the shoulder. I thought that I might stop at the previous one, but I decided to push through the last one, and it was not a smart choice. Hopefully I'm not going to repeat this mistake again. It was not that big of a deal, but I don't want to take any chances, especially since this rehab is taking so long. And then I moved on to the lower body part of the session, which was a ramp up to 100 kilos sled pushes for a couple of top sets at max intensity, and then some stuff on the Nordic curl. This variation is really a pain to set up. On the bar there were over 100 kilos and I was still able to wedge it up just with the eccentric. I couldn't even try to do the concentric because it would move the plate out of its position, and then I would have to put it back up all again. It's not the best setup really, and if I can, I will go back to be doing that on to the lat pull down. It may be a slightly easier variation, but it doesn't really take anything to set up, and it's going to be much easier to use. Lower body part of the session, slightly underwhelming in terms of what I was able to pull out, but the first part was definitely something that I was happy with because I was able to do 32 kilos again for a triple, and I will see how that progresses. This is an attempt at doing some volume with lower intensity and not really putting too much pressure on the bar, so I wasn't really wedging it out. I had to be creative. Ciao.